don't. You're not selling anything.
The Fed's not done, and I'm going to tell you why.
Welcome back to Sean's show, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm here, Sans producer. Unfortunately, I listened to some feedback from you guys, and while I listened to some feedback from my landlord who said that I had to pay rent, and I'm sorry, I had to basically I have to do the show without a producer for now because I just can't afford to pay for one. So I just want to address that up top. But Mitch and I were so cool, and I want to get him back in once you guys start buying the Patreon. So how about you pay for the Patreon, and I can not have to lose members of my team. No, I'm kidding. But no, we're gonna go solo for the time being. So just want to address that up top. Oh my God, Trump is back. Trump is back. And I don't mean that in a happy way or a sad way. Trump is back, and the world is still digesting it. I stayed up all night. With my girlfriend. She was in the other room watching TikToks while I'm transforming into him. I was a political analyst for my household. I think, like many men in the world, the men of the world yesterday were responsible for sitting down and digesting the political events and reporting them to the household. And so I, of course, as the man of the house, took that responsibility. One of the men of the house, our dog is a man, and I reported it to the household, and it never was close. I mean, as soon as the states started reporting, he ran away with it. I mean, I'm sitting on the couch eating Ferrero Rocher, whatever the fuck those chocolates are, and watching the votes come in for Trump. And everyone on the left said that there would be a red mirage. And if you're out of the loop, if you live under a rock, the red mirage was this idea that election day, a lot of right-leaning states report first, and then the left-leaning states report later on. And so what a lot of people on the left were saying is that there'd be a red mirage, which is this appearance that the right was gaining a foothold, when in reality there'd be a blue wall coming later on in the night. And so everyone on the left was sort of sitting here waiting for this blue wall that really never materialized. They were unable to build the wall, much like the Republicans. No one in America seems to be able to. What happened? You know who can build a wall? China. Great Wall of China. They've been building walls for 5,000 fucking years. America, neither side can build a goddamn wall. Trump says he's going to build a wall. Doesn't build a wall. The Democrats say they can have a blue wall. That doesn't build. How about we stop trying to color the walls and just focus on building housing? How about housing in America? Can we do that? How about let's forget about left and right for a sec and just build some goddamn fucking housing? I think that would be really good. I don't think either side was really concerned about that. I think both sides were concerned about the usual shit, but that's par for the course, right? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that he was elected. I'm not at all surprised. And this is tough to tell you guys, but I know you guys watch the show because I'm real and I'm honest with you. So I'm going to tell you how I voted because I'm an artist. And this is really hard to say to you. I feel like I'm admitting that I killed my dad right now. This is like the level of gravity that I'm telling you this. I did vote. And I know that my fan base is already going to be destroyed and shocked that I voted in a federal election. I think last episode I said that anyone that votes in a federal election should be shot. I think I've said stuff like that before. So I want to say that I'm ready to take that consequence. Okay? I did it. because I love my girlfriend. And I'm really sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. But I had a conversation with her, and I don't want to go into detail, but I was, my hand was forced. I wasn't going to vote, but my hand was forced. And so I went into the polls and I did something that I thought I would never do. I got that bubble. I got that privacy screen. I went into a government building. I looked at the people that were volunteering that did not want me there. By the way, they did not want me there. I went to the polling. I went to the polling place near my apartment, and I get there and I'm not registered. Like, I've never voted. And that was a big shock to them. Like, I walk in there and I'm like, I've never voted. I go in, I go like, I just moved here and I've never voted. And they almost like shooed me away. Like, I'm not like allowed to. I don't know what was odd. I was like in Brooklyn, and I was like, I've never voted. I just moved here like 5 or 6 months ago. And they're like, okay. I felt like I was like trying to go into like a nightclub, like a very exclusive nightclub. And some like dumb exclusive bitch was like, okay. I'm like, hi, I'm here to vote. She's like, okay. What do you want me to do about it? She's like painting her nails. She's like filing her nails. She's like, okay, what do you want me to do about it? So I'm not joking, guys. I almost got disenfranchised. Look at me. Straight white guy that looks Jewish. I almost got disenfranchised. That's bad. That's how you know America's really fucked. I was almost disenfranchised. I go there. I'm like, I'm not registered to vote. I've never voted. How does this work? And one of the ladies, there was like an internal disagreement at the polling station. One of the ladies was like, oh, we'll just sign this affidavit. I don't know what an affidavit is. And then mail in your registration, and then your vote will get counted. And I was like, that's fine. And this other lady was like, no, you're going to have to wait till the next cycle. And I looked at her and I was like, well, all right, that's fine. I was there with my girlfriend. I was like, honestly, it's probably good that I'm disenfranchised. You want to talk about real reparations for Black people in this country? It's called disenfranchising the white vote. That's the real type of reparation, because they're not going to give up money. You're not going to get, like, Black people, you're not going to get money. I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but I think what you could get, which I think is almost even better, is disenfranchising white votes. And that, which almost happened to me. I was like, this actually kind of makes sense. How about we do one election where white people can't vote? Okay, now that's enough dunking on Republicans. So I did vote. You guys are wondering. I know you're clamoring. You're clawing. You're clawing your own face off. You're cutting yourself because of the anxiety of wanting to know who I voted for. Me, Sean Riley, comedian. I want to say this before I tell you who I voted for. I did not, and this is what I told. This is what I told my girlfriend before I went out and voted. I said, I want you to know that I'm doing this for you. I looked at her. I was like, I'll go vote. You want me to vote? She's like, you should vote. It's important. I was like, I'll go vote, but I want to tell you this first. I looked her in the eyes and I said this. Borders are created by humans who would like to profit from war and divide people. Borders and countries. The very idea of a country was created by and perpetuated by the elite in the world, this very few rich elite in the world that would like to see us all as equal, as unequal, as not the same, as not human. I'm the same as someone from Israel or Uganda, or I know that's a very, not really, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm the same. We're all the same. I don't care where you're listening to this show from. We're all the same. And so I said that to her. I was like, I'll participate in this sham for you because I love you and I care about our relationship. But I want you to know that I do it with utter contempt. And that's how I think most of America voted. Most of America voted in this election with utter contempt for both sides. They voted with disgust. And yes, I'm not trying to deny that there are people that were really energized by the Trump campaign, and there are people that were really energized by the Harris campaign. I think a lot of people in the middle are disgusted by both choices, and I think there's going to be a reckoning. You know, I think it's again, I'm gonna maintain what I've always maintained, and I'm really ashamed to say that yes, I did write in Kanye. I'm really sorry. I wrote in Kanye for my girlfriend. A lot of guys did. Okay, I'm sorry. My girlfriend said, "Aren't you worried about my rights, my health care?" And I said, "Baby, nothing to worry about. I'll do it today." I registered to vote, and I got that paper sheet, and I wrote in Kanye West for president. And so I did my best. I did my part. Did you do your part? I did my part. I wrote in Kanye and the Rizzler. I wrote in Kanye for president. I wrote in the Rizzler for vice president. I don't know what else you want from me. Okay. I also voted for Eric Adams to have more power. Mayor of New York. Indicted mayor. Why is everyone indicted? Seems like not everyone I know. Seems like everyone in politics is getting indicted. Are we just handing out indictments now? Is that like what our world has become? Are we just indicting everyone? I don't know. You know who deserves an indictment? Elon Musk. Elon Musk. You know who won? You know who won this election? His name is Elon J. Musk. I have no idea if that's his actual middle initial. Elon Musk is the real victor of this election. Elon Musk spent, $130 million to purchase political power. That's a flat. I'm going to say it flat. Let me say it again. Elon Musk spent a small fraction of his vast treasure of wealth. And he got it. It was a great deal. Great fucking deal you got to hand it to him. I think Elon Musk is a cringe autistic loser that should be shot in the head. Allegedly. This is a joke podcast. You know what would be good for the world is if me and Elon were put against a wall and shot in a firing squad. If me and Elon Musk were both, honestly, okay, I don't want to get too crazy, but maybe I will. So Elon Musk is the real winner because he spent $130 million and he purchased an incredible amount of political power in the United States. Elon Musk is going to create DOGE, which, if you don't know, stands for the Department of Government Efficiency. I think we talked about it last week. And the Department of Government Efficiency is funded by the government. So it's already, you're kind of at a loss. Elon's basically like, I'm going to create a new agency, the Department of Government Efficiency. We're going to look for waste in the government. We're going to look for where dollars are being wasted in the government, and we're going to cancel those programs, except for all my businesses that are funded by the government. That's literally, do you guys realize what Elon Musk has now? Elon Musk has SpaceX, Starlink, Tesla. I'm sure Neuralink someday will be a government contractor when they put the chip into the soldiers' brains and some Black Mirror shit. You bet your ass Neuralink is going to become a government fucking contractor for the DOD. This man who runs 5 or whatever, however many portfolio of businesses that he has, a lot of them contract with the government. Now, Elon Musk, that same individual, is going to head an agency in the government, in the federal government, where he decides what programs get cut. Is this not crazy to anyone else? And you know, I didn't do some research personally, but apparently he can only touch a certain amount of the budget. But that being said, it's still a gross conflict of interest. But you know, I'm not even mad anymore. I'm just respect it. That's gangster. That's like where I'm at now. Like corruption is cool. Corruption is cool. That's where we are. You want to make it in America? It's time to be corrupt. Lie, cheat, and steal your way to the top. That's what it is. Sociopath behavior is rewarded. Narcissistic behavior is rewarded. Why do you think my show is finally doing well? I'm leaning in. You know, have you guys ever read Sheryl Sandberg's book, Leaning In? Lean In? You know what she leaned into? Mark Zuckerberg's dick. Am I right? Am I right? Good fucking God. Okay. So let's move away from the election just for a sec. I have some, this is just for Kareem, who is in the Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group, by the way, facebook.com/groups/Sean's show. I would love to see you join it. We're up to 18 members. We haven't gotten a new member in a while, and we're actually having a lot of fun in the Facebook group. So join. Kareem is a longtime listener. I believe he listened to my old show, The Thoughtless Experiment. And hello, Kareem. He jumped back in, and Palantir is popping. That's what Kareem says. Palantir is popping, and it is. And I may kill myself because I sold all of my Palantir stock. Can you fucking believe it, guys? I had 2,000. I had 1,000 shares of Palantir at $20 a share. For those, by the way, if you're poor, you can kind of skip ahead 10 minutes and just keep watching from then. I had 1,000 shares at $20 a share. So that's what? I lost out on like a $25,000 gain. And Palantir, incredible earnings, massive explosion because interestingly enough, Palantir's earnings were before the election results, but then they're also even more, their price expanded even more because of Trump's election. So Palantir's ripping. And if you guys don't know this company, I've talked about it a little bit. And if you are a listener, I hope that you took my advice because I was fucking right. Literally go back a year and listen to like episode 5 of Sean's show. I had a Palantir price chart and it was at like $12 or some shit, and now it's at $55. So I'm not a dumbass. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And it just goes to show that you always need to invest in evil. You can be a good person in your life and love your loved ones, but when it comes to investing, the more evil, the better. You know, people, they have all these complex models for analyzing stocks. Just step back and ask yourself, which companies will do the most damage to humanity? And that's where you put your money. And that's what Palantir is doing. Palantir is literally the expression of the panopticon. It's an all-seeing eye that's going to probably put us all in jail. And guys, just don't think that you're in, like, if you listen to this show, like, you're just as guilty as me. Don't think that you're innocent in all of this. Like, I'm looking into a camera right now. I can't see any of you, but Palantir can. And that's why you buy. So that was just sort of an aside, but Palantir's crushing it. I have no money. I'm just investing all my money into the show. Guys, literally my finances, just so you know, it goes my rent, my food, and then this show. I swear to God. So I really thank you for being a listener. Let's answer some questions too. Gary has some questions. Did Mitch vote and why? Gary, I'm sorry. I will text him. I'll let you know. Shout out to Mitch. He'll be back. I want to rehire him, but again, I do want to say, I do want to go back to that real quick. A lot of artists and entertainers abuse people, and they make people work for free. I paid Mitch because I like him, and I'm not gonna like use my whatever little clout I have to like make people work for free for me. So that's just the actual background on that. Number 2, Gary, if there's not already a Sean's Show TikTok account, may I create and run one with pre-post consent each time? Well, you know how I feel about consent, Gary. So no, Gary, we do have a TikTok. I'm going to link it in the Facebook. I'll link it on your questions. We do have a TikTok. It's called Sean Show. And I actually, really cool shit, guys. I mean, the show's kind of moving. I've got actually no, our listeners are down. But I've got I've got a big editing computer. We're going to be putting out a lot more like short form content. So get excited for that. Number 3, can we still set the world on fire now that the election is over? Gary, I've been setting the world on fire since I started this podcast. I don't know, man. Don't commit I don't suggest you commit arson. No, I think that a lot of people in New York are very disappointed that Trump is president. But I think that the initial blow, this is like the initial blow. Like let's be honest, guys. The left got punched in the fucking face today. They got punched in the face. And it's going to take a week or two for them to recover from this moment and reorganize. And that's okay. I mean, look, we all here's the thing. If you believe what I believe, Trump's election changes nothing. If you believe that our government is not a democracy, what's so crazy? I put out this post that was like criticizing the way that our elections are run. And then I was like joking. I was like, we live in a democracy and it's really important or I'll just read it to you guys because I thought it was pretty funny. If you're not on my Instagram, Sean Riley Comedy. So here's what I posted on Instagram, and I got some criticism, but let me just read this to you. This was yesterday, election day. Whatever happens today, let's remember that we live in a democracy where you can let your voice be heard through a vote. Then your vote gets filtered in varying effective weights based on your geographic location through our visionary electoral college system. Then the millionaire or billionaire candidate pre-selected by privately owned national committees that gets more electoral votes is elected to be the helm of the United States, this beautiful country. Finally, they sign new laws into the country that are written word for word by Ivy League lobbyists who drive Teslas and never tip. Vote today. So I put that out, which is very cynical. And this guy commented and he was like, well, Sean, you're a fucking idiot. We don't live in a democracy. America's not a democracy. Huh? You don't think America's a democracy? And you all know what he said, right? He goes, actually, it's a constitutional republic. He goes, it's a representative republic. He goes, Sean, none of that applies because at the beginning you said America's a democracy. We're not a democracy, idiot. We're a representative republic. Okay, tell me who the fuck got represented in the election. Tell me. The right? Is that what you think? The angry right that's tired of woke bullshit? That's who you think is represented? Let me say it this way. The right and the left could have had much more competent and excellent what if we had better options in both parties? Is that so crazy of a concept that we have a more competent, stable Republican candidate that doesn't have all these crazy knee-jerk reactions to shit? And maybe on the left, we have a candidate that we actually fucking elect in a primary. Is that a world that's so hard to envision? Tell me that this representative republic, what the fuck are you smoking? We don't live in a democracy. We live in a representative republic. Shut the fuck up. We live in a statist. It's called statism. It's called crony capitalism. And that's what our democracy, Freudian slip. That's what our country is. So when that guy was like, we don't live in a democracy, idiot, I was like, yeah, at least we can agree that we don't live in a democracy, because we don't live in a democracy. He's like, because it's like, if you believe we live in a constitutional republic, that means that we elect people that elect our leaders. But if you aren't a dumb fucking retard, I'm sorry to use that word, I don't mean developmentally just disabled people, I mean retards who vote like me, then you must realize that it is not a representative republic, and that's okay. I'm about the truth here. I am about the truth. So I got in an argument with that guy. But let's I know we're bouncing around a lot, but Gary's last question, or this is more of a comment. I finally had coffee for the first time in many years today. 40 minutes later, I regretted it. Have another one, Gary. Have 2 more. I'm telling you, bro, get back in the saddle. If this show is anything, it's getting people to relapse on coffee. Guys, I quit coffee for a month. It was the worst time of my fucking life. Let me have that. I'm sober. I exercise. I sleep a lot. I don't do drugs. Let me have coffee. You got to have something. Fuck it, Gary. Have fucking 8. Dude, I'm not even kidding. Have 8 or 9 cups of coffee today. I guarantee you your life will be better. I guarantee it. I'm not even kidding you. I guarantee you, if you have not 9, depending on your physical health, okay? If having a lot of caffeine is bad for your physical health, I'm not recommending it. But if you're not a bitch and your body can handle it, then do it. A question from William. How long do we wait to fire up the weather machine? Okay, and then Gary goes, we were supposed to wait? And then William goes, I guess not. Bill Gates and the Jews, God, beats us to God. I love you guys, but you're making me look like Alex Jones right now. I guess not. Bill Gates and the Jews beat us to the punch. Sean said they're seeding the skies with sulfuric acid. Don't put words in my mouth, William. I said Bill Gates and the Israelis are seeding the clouds. No. Again, this is a comedy show, and we make fun of everyone. And I want to clarify that, yes, there is a company in Israel doing research on. I mean, but again, look, guys, I'm Jewish. I'm not, but it's not the Jews that are controlling everything. I don't believe that. I believe that it's a selection. Here's the beauty, guys. Let me just say this. Let me back up. The Jews don't run the world. No one race runs the world. The beautiful thing about the world is that every group of people has that 1 or 2 people in their group that are narcissist, psychopath, tyrants. And the beautiful thing is that I envision and I see the world in sort of a different way. I see a world where there's diversity amongst the group of people that oppress us. That small group of people that oppress us and smash their boot heel on our chests and blow our children's brains out in front of us, that group of people is not just Jews or Arabs or whites or blacks or just men. I believe that there's even women that oppress us. And that's beautiful. Can I say something that might be a little bit of a pussy liberal thing to say? You might think it's a very liberal, kind of soft soy boy take. I think that there are women that oppress us. And I want that. I want more women at JP Morgan. I want more women flying planes that dump sulfuric acid in the sky. I don't think it's sulfuric acid, William. I'm pretty sure it's sulfur dioxide. But maybe they're the same thing. I'm not a scientist. Yeah, we'll push the weather machine to next week. That's too much for one. That's too much for one episode. Let's stay focused on the election. But yes, there is a few companies. One of them happens to be in Israel that is researching ways to block out sunlight to cool the earth to stop global warming. They're basically trying to recreate a volcanic eruption artificially. And volcanic eruptions are known to create artificial winters around where the volcano erupts. And so they're thinking, how can we use that technology? And my question is always when I hear about this stuff, I'm like, well, how can we leverage AI for that? How can we add AI to that equation? You know, whenever I'm in New York, I'm in Manhattan, I have drinks with these people. I have soda, they drink. And they go, you know, I work at a startup and we're working on dumping sulfuric acid into the sky. And I go, well, are you leveraging AI? Are you looking at ways to like implement LLMs into that? How can we use large language models in the sulfur dioxide? Can we do that? This show is for no one except me and you guys. I love you. Let's see. I mean, did I miss anything, guys, on the election? That's pretty much it. Oh, JD Vance. JD Vance was, okay, actually, let me talk about Trump's acceptance speech. I thought Trump's acceptance speech was markedly different from 2016. In 2016, he painted a much more grave situation for America. He painted an America that was in a very, very bad situation. I mean, if you would listen to that acceptance speech, it was almost like we're on the verge of getting fucked. It was still kind of alarmist, but it wasn't as alarmist. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of more optimistic, I guess. Interestingly enough, Elon Musk was not on the stage with Trump. I thought it was, it was really funny. Trump's acceptance speech was very funny, was seeing Barron on the stage. That guy's tall as fuck. He's like 6. I don't know. He might be taller than me. I'm like 6'2". I honestly, and look, I don't want to, let me just make sure Barron is over 18 before I go after him. Cause I have a rule. I don't want to go after kids on the show. He's 18. All right, Barron, you're barely legal. Here we go. No, we're a joking show, obviously, but he, look, I feel bad for the guy. I feel bad for Barron Trump. I do. Because he's 18. He doesn't really have any control. He's born into that family, and you just kind of have to go along with, what are you going to do? You're 8. What are you going to do? Just reject all of your if you grow up that way. I mean, it's like, it's just, I think his life must be crazy. That's what I'm trying to say. Barron one of Trump's sons was standing. It was Trump and then Melania, and then to the right of Melania was Barron. And on that stage during Trump's acceptance speech, and Barron was just sitting there clapping, like just looking at everyone and looking. Dude, imagine being Barron Trump, dude. That's crazy. Imagine just being an 18-year-old kid standing on the stage next to the new president of the United States, all these cameras and lights and people just clapping and smiling. And you're just like, this is fucking crazy. Like, that guy doesn't even know what he believes. Barron Trump doesn't even know who he is yet. And he's being thrusted into the spotlight. And I feel bad for him. Because he's not going to be able to like live a life or discover who he is in private. Like that's something that's a privilege that's afforded to the average person, the average poor person that listens to the show, the average homeless guy that listens to Sean's show. And that is not something that Barron has access to. So I feel bad. it's a very sitcom moment. I mean, there are other people saying with the election that this is not in this election. I'm already sort of seeing this online, that they're saying that the Republicans didn't win, the Democrats lost. And I think both are true. The Republicans won. They energized a lot of people. They energized a lot of people that I think are just upset with the economy. They're upset with things that are actually affecting their life on a day-to-day basis. I think what people forget is that, like, a lot of people vote based on who they believe is going to help their daily life. That's why I wrote in Kanye and the Rizzler. Like, those are the guys I think are going to help my daily life the most. Not Trump, not Kamala. That's the psychology of the average voter, in my opinion. I think is someone who wakes up and they go, okay, it's time to make a choice. They see their grocery bills going up. They see their the size of the bags of chicken wings getting smaller, or they see orange juice, whatever groceries you buy, like waffles, all these items, eggs. They see inflation getting really bad, and they're scared and they're angry. And I think they are voting based on that. And I think Trump did a better job speaking to those people, And I voted the same way. I woke up and I was like, look, I'm transitioning and I want a government-funded surgery. So I voted for who is going to give me that, which is Jill Stein, of course. Jill Stein of the Green. I don't even know what party she is, but speaking of Jill Stein, a lot of people voted for Jill Stein, and there are a lot of Kamala voters who are angry. They're furious with the Jill Stein voters. They're like, if you voted third party in this election, it's your fault that Trump was elected. No, it's not. No, it is not. It's not. You can vote for who you want to vote for. That's the whole point. Well, we live in a two-party system. No, we don't. Well, yes, we do. We live in a one-party system. People go, we live in a two-party system. How dare you vote third party? Don't you guys get that there's one party now? It's called the corporate party. It's called the corporate class. Do you think anything would have been fucking different if Kamala won? The wars are endless, and they will continue to be endless. The deficit, look, I was right about Palantir. Can't you trust me on other economic stuff? Trust me on this. And you can call me out if I'm wrong, and I'll own it. The deficit will go up. The deficit's going to go up. Elon Musk is going to cut nothing. He's going to go into the Department of Government Efficiency. You know what Elon's going to do at DOGE, at the new Department of Government Efficiency? You know what Elon's plan is? It's to cut spending on public roads and dump it all into SpaceX so he can land more rockets. Land more rockets. Is anyone else over the rockets re-landing? You did that like 3 years ago, bro. Is anyone else tired of everyone celebrating the rockets landing? Okay, you did that years ago. There was just another video about the rocket landing again and getting caught in the equipment in the tower. And, I'm not impressed anymore. And you might be like, well, Sean, that's different from landing on a pad. It landed in a tower. It's a way different engineering problem. Shut the fuck up, nerd. Shut up, nerds. Can nerds? Honestly, you want to know why Trump won? Because it's because we don't bully nerds anymore. Elon Musk, if he was bullied as a kid, he wouldn't have been in the position where he could give Trump $130 million for his campaign. We need to go back to bullying nerds. Weird nerds who can't get their dick sucked are going to ruin the world. There's going to be sulfuric acid dumped into the atmosphere because the CEOs of these companies can't get their dick sucked. And the goth girls reject them at the bars. Maybe I should blame goth women. I think you want to know why Trump was elected? Because all of these goth bitches won't fuck the weird nerds. All these weird incel nerds voted for Trump because the goth bitches that they have crushes on didn't want to bounce on their cock. Is that so hard to understand? This is what I tell people. I'll be smoking a cigarette outside of a bar and they'll be like, what do you think of the election? And I go, well, if more of these big titty goth chicks would have just fucked the autistic incel nerds, they wouldn't have voted for Trump. They would have realized there's more to life than Dogecoin. The moment you get your dick sucked, you realize that there's more to life than Dogecoin, and there's more to life than fracking, and there's more to life than worrying about the deficit. And unfortunately, that's not the reality that we live in. So I blame goth women for this, for Trump. I blame them. I'm sorry. I blame you. I'm sorry. Well, we went all over the place today, guys. Hey, what are we at, Connor?
42 minutes.
42. So okay, we'll close with this. We'll close with this because I have to do the Patreon as well. Should we close on something optimistic? I've got a couple stories here for you guys. Bow. Let's take a look. I didn't really talk about Harris. So if you don't, I guess what was very interesting last night, I mean, this was sort of a repeat of 2016 because Harris did not do a concession speak last night and all of her speakers sort of just went home, or her supporters just went home. Should we talk about my favorite company ever? Should we talk about BlackRock? I know you guys love it when I talk about BlackRock. I thought there was a story about them here. Fuck. Give me a sec here, guys. Stay with me. Don't turn that dial. Let's see. I promise you I do have a list of stories here. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So there were a number of polling stations that got bomb threats via email. I guess Russia, and they say it was Russia. They say that Russia was emailing these polling stations saying, hey, I'm going to bomb the polling station. And so there are actually some people on the left that are, it's kind of funny. It's kind of the reverse. It's like, when Biden won, everyone on the right was like, stop the steal. Well, fuck this, bullshit. And they stormed the Capitol. And so some of that, I actually see a little bit of that rhetoric happening on the left. I see some people on the left not accepting the results, which I think is kind of funny. I think it's kind of funny that some of them are like, this is impossible. And some of the people can't really comprehend. They can't comprehend the fact that the right just won fair and square. So I thought that was very funny. They're like, well, they should have all kept the polls open longer because of these bomb threats. It's like, maybe, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I forgot to talk about this. God damn it. Daily Mail. I don't have enough money to pay for the premium versions of any of these things. Okay, here we go. So let's take a look. The astronauts. You know what I love? I just love to think about like, how are these astronauts that are stuck on the ISS? How are they reacting to this shit? That's what I want to know. How is Sunita Williams stuck. How are Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore stuck on the ISS? How are they reacting to the news? I mean, I would be pissing my fucking pants right now if I was on the ISS. I'd be shitting myself. I mean, imagine if we have nuclear war and you're stuck on the ISS. Imagine, wouldn't that be a way to go out? You go to the ISS, which was supposed to be a 8-day mission. And now you're on day 152, on your day 152 of your 8-day mission. And you look outside the window of the ISS and you just see nukes flying all over the place. And, that's a very scary place to be. I'd honestly rather get nuked, die in a nuclear blast, than fucking be stuck in the ISS when we go into nuclear war. But it's getting bad for these guys, for the astronauts. So here's the headline. Fresh health concerns about NASA astronauts stranded on ISS after gaunt new photo. Gaunt, I guess, means lean and haggard. So I guess it means like there's no basically, I think the female astronaut wants a facelift. She wants to get some work done. No, I guess they're like, well, obviously they're saying that they've been on the ISS for 152 days and now they're experiencing health issues. No fucking shit. What is stopping NASA and Boeing from sending these people home? Are these the first costs that Musk is cutting? Is Elon Musk getting in there and he's like, you know what? Fuck these astronauts. It's going to cost too much money to get them home. Let them die in the ISS. Maybe that's the cost. Like, that's probably what he's going to cut. They don't look good, guys. I'm not going to say they look great. I don't like to insult women's appearances, but honey, you look bad. Girl, you look bad. Girl, you're right. You look stressed. She doesn't look great. See, that's how I feel after this election. Honey, same. Girl, same. I'll get a photo somehow. If I don't get the photo, look it up. Just look up Sunita Williams. This is a crazy story. She looks bad. So let's see. Her cheeks appear a bit sunken and usually appears when you've had a sort of total body weight loss, Dr. Gupta added. I think what I can discern by her face and her cheeks being sunken in is that she has been at a significant calorie deficit for a while. Well, there's nothing to worry about. She's just doing a Rogan diet. She's just doing a Joe Rogan diet. No, I'm sorry. Is living at a calorie deficit, is that somehow bad now? I thought calorie deficits were what? Aren't we all on calorie deficits now? I want to reduce the deficit, the calorie deficit. I just blow my brains out. Guys, don't you want to reduce the deficit in this country? The calorie deficit. The body burns more calories in space as it adjusts to the changes in gravity and tries to maintain its body temperature in cold, harsh conditions. And to prevent muscle and bone loss, astronauts exercise 2.5 hours a day. Fuck. They're eating pepperoni. I mean, how much food do they have? In the photo, which was published on September 24th, that was a while ago, Williams can be seen tucking into a pepperoni pizza and chips while surrounded by condiments and other treats. Based on what I'm at least seeing in her photo, I don't think she's quite at a place where I say her life's in danger. Well, that's good. That's good. The astronauts' lives aren't in danger. But I don't think you can look at that photo and say she has a sort of healthy body weight. She looks dead. She looks like a corpse. This is an astronaut. This is a woman who was probably in peak physical condition for her 8-day trip to the ISS. And now it's been 152 days. She looks like a corpse. I'm sorry. And it looks like the guy is going to eat her. He looks fine. It looks like the guy is going to eat Sunita Williams. What does he go? Your metabolism in space fundamentally requires you to burn way more energy than you're intaking, even if you're intaking pepperoni slices. Well, that's good to know. Her body's probably working harder to do the basic things because the partial pressure of oxygen is lower than it would be at sea level. Well, they're definitely not at sea level, Dr. Gupta. I mean, get him home. When people say, how do you feel about the hostages, Sean? I say, bring the hostages home. Bring these astronauts home. They are being held hostage by Boeing and NASA at this point. And that is why I will never go to space, because it's a government contract and program. In a lot, and I guess I'll sort of wrap it up this way. I'll do a little weave. Trump does his weaves. I'll do a little weave at the end here. America, right now, we are all sort of these astronauts that are stuck on the ISS. Much like these two astronauts stuck on the ISS, we are going around the Earth, around and around and around. And we are all just sort of stuck. We're hungry. We're tired. We just want to go home. We're tired. We're upset. And our lives are in the hands of people who have MBAs from UCLA that don't care about us fundamentally. And it's not a good place. And even if Kamala were to be elected instead, I would tell you the same thing. The picture is not rosy for America. I see the picture as bleak. And, my recommendation to you guys would just be like, hey, we're all on this ISS together. And if something doesn't change soon, I'm going to eat you. I'm going to have to eat you. One day you're going to wake up tied to your bed with ropes. And you're not going to know who tied you up. And then I'm going to appear in frame in your field of view. And you're going to go, Sean, why did you tie me to this bed? And I'm going to go, inflation's just really high. I can't afford Costco anymore. I'm going to pat your face gently. And I'm going to go, I have to eat you. I'm sorry. Don't you know? JD Vance, you're going to be crying. You're going to be trapped on the bed with the ropes. You'll be a good friend of mine. I'm going to show up at your house and tie you to a bed because I can't afford groceries anymore. And I'm going to go, don't you know that Elon Musk cut Social Security so that he could fund Starlink? So that he could play Diablo. Elon Musk is going to cut Social Security so that he can reinvest that money into Starlink so he can play Diablo. What the fuck is wrong? Please kill me now. Please kill me now. Now that Trump is president, Elon Musk is going to slash Social Security. All of your grandmas are going to die. They're going to starve so that he can redirect that money into Starlink, put more Starlink satellites into the sky so that he can play Diablo 3 at a lower ping. That's where we're at, folks. It's eat or be eaten. And I don't know about you, I'm not getting eaten. Because if I get eaten, I can't do the show. There's no more Sean show if someone else eats my flesh. But, the only solution to this, guys, buy Palantir. It's time to buy Palantir. It's time to throw your morals in the fucking trash if you haven't already. It's time to look out for yourself. It's time to stock up on some food. And if you're gay and you're in the closet, it's time to come out. What are you doing? If you're gay and you're in the closet right now, what are you doing? It's almost over. This whole charade, our reality, it's almost over. Go suck a cock. Go have gay sex. Donald Trump got elected. It's almost over. Go have some gay sex, man. It's fine. No one really cares anyway, dude. Just do it. Do it for me. If no one else. But guys, that is our show today. please, 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 I will leave you with these remarks. Subscribe on YouTube. Like the video on YouTube. The YouTube video gets like 3 likes. Please like the video. It really helps. Give me a little comment. Let me know if you are happy with Trump being elected, or you're sad, or you don't care. Let me know in the comments on YouTube. I believe you can comment on Spotify now as well. So leave me a comment on Spotify. Review the show on Spotify. I'm very excited that we got another review. We're up to 13 reviews on Spotify, people. Sean, you're still in, by the way, or 12 reviews. By the way, if you're listening now, you're still really early in, this is, listening to Sean's show at episode 65 is like buying Bitcoin at 0.001 pennies. You want to know why? Because 10 years from now, everyone's going to hate you for listening because it'll be so successful. So I love you. Please help me out. You know what to do. We're going to go into the Patreon next, where I will be continuing to talk about all this shit. So join the Patreon, link in the description. It's just $5 a month and you get extra content every week. And we're going to keep the show rolling, guys. Clips are coming out. Everything's getting better. The production value is going to go up, and the show keeps going. The grind never stops. So don't stop just because Trump's president. Do your thing. Just do your thing. Have fun. Hug your loved ones. It could all end tomorrow. So that's it. Stay safe out there, people, and let's make America great again.